Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're talking about TRCH, updates on what their valuation might be, as well as what's yet to come in terms of the vote and some technical analysis. Watch it to the end and let's jump right into this one. So TRCH, been talking about this one for a while. I had a couple of different videos. My last video looked at someone else's valuation that put them all the way from a range, I think, of an average of $8 per share. And then previously towards that, I did my own valuation that gave it around an estimate somewhere between 50 to $1.50. 50 cents to $1.50. And the valuations here are all around the place. Some people are saying that this one is going up to $40 in terms of per share. Others are saying it could be even worthless. For instance, you go look into these seeking alpha articles, even though I give them almost no credit or no credibility, my bad. They're saying that the OP project has 0 provided reserves and 0 commercial production. It also is in a county that doesn't even top into 200 productions or producing counties in Texas. I think in my last video I did go over the county itself and nearby sales of land that did show some significant price valuation. But nonetheless, that's just some of the alternative opinions that we have in the market currently. We did find here a Twitter account as well for the CEO of MMAT Materials, George Palikras, and it looks like he is actually responding to a lot of these questions. So we'll go through that in a bit in the end, but we still don't know exactly how much information we're getting in terms of the exact valuation of these land pieces. But nonetheless, we can go ahead and take a quick look into some of the SEC filings that we might have received. So some of the ones to start is that the April 15th is going to be the meeting for the stockholders for TRCH, again, not MMAT Materials, and the stockholder meeting is going to happen on May 10th, 2021. So we're going to have that vote around then, and I don't see why this won't pass from TRCH point of view, because they are selling off they're liquidating their entire business and merging, so it's actually in their benefits, and this is the exact reason why TRCH is moving to start with. So I don't see them not going with this plan. We also have some of the questions here. For instance, how do I make sure to receive a dividend of Shares A preferred stock? And the answer: once a dividend of Series A preferred stock is declared and issued, the Torchlight stockholders who are eligible to receive the dividend will be notified by the following manners. And the answer there goes on to: if you own your Torchlight shares in certificate form or in DRS from on account with transfer agent, you'll be mailed a statement from the transfer agent directly with evidence of your ownership. Moving on, if you own Torchlight shares in a brokerage account, your brokerage company will be responsible for making sure your dividend is applied to your account. And so they don't exactly mention an exact date that you have to hold in because they don't know themselves. So it is by the time that they do declare that dividend if you have the shares. But what happens if the merger goes around and they don't get the special dividend? So in there, it does talk about a spin-off company that will hold these assets until they're sold. So that's also arranged. Now, there isn't some of the things that we're going to be voting on is increasing the number of shares, reverse split, changing the name. Now, I don't think the reverse split is something to consider, because of what the CEO of MMAT Materials actually said. So reverse or forward slips are tools. For example, RS is used to keep a company above $1 to comply with the NASDAQ minimum listing rule. To avoid speculation, there is no plan to reverse split TRCH before the business combination with MMAT.cn. Hope this helps. So there's no plans currently for that, but let's say the company does tank tomorrow to 50 cents. That's most likely going to happen, a reverse split. But I don't see the company dropping below $1 anytime soon from my perspective. Of course, everything has external factors to it. So they obtained a final order for plan arrangement, and we get to see that somewhere around the voting time of April 15th to May 10th, we will be able to know more details regarding this one. Now, from their presentation, I did cover a good amount of them before, I think 2-3 videos ago. But there's a couple of things that I do want to cover here, especially with MMAT Materials. So just a quick thing. Meta delivers breakthrough performance across a range of applications and industries by designing, developing, and manufacturing sustainable, highly functional materials. I think the reason I'm going with this one here is I would like for you guys to think not as TRCH just for their dividends, but take a quick look into what you'll own afterwards. Because if everyone, think about it, if everyone is thinking about selling after they get the dividends, this stock will plummet to pennies. Anyway, 5G infrastructure rollout requires new material for transparent antennas and reflectors. vehicle electrification, seismic shift towards EV, ADAS, and autonomous vehicles. Combined more than $3 trillion in other verticals, so advanced materials, IoT, medical, energy, aerospace, and automotive market. Scarcity control of raw materials, supply of rare earth materials such as ITO, indium tin oxide, highly concentrated in Asia. And metamaterials device market expected to grow to $10.7 billion by 2030. So that's an amazing estimation there. There's a lot of different applications as we get to see, but we're going to move on now a little bit towards the technical analysis standpoint. But before then, we're doing institutional interest. So if you would like to see more materials like this, make sure to drop the subscribe button and leave notifications on. And if you'd like to join our server, it's in the description below. It's totally free. So institutions seem to be a little bit quiet on this, other than some index funds that they do generally add it at the end of the month or early of the month. But other than that, we don't see any additional institutional interest that might signify them knowing something that we don't know. But all in all, in terms of the dividends itself, I do think if you watch at least my last videos, it will be at least around 50 cents per share, going up to $1.50 for my valuation, and the average valuation in the market goes around almost $8 per share. Now, I really hope they do give that $8 per share, because that would be an amazing thing for the stockholders here. And other things before we even move on towards technical analysis. So other things here that has been mentioned, including the number of shares. So apparently, based on their CEO, the exchange ratio will only apply for MMAT.TN and MMATF shareholders at a TBA date before the merger. The newly combined entity will have a share for share of TRCH and MMAT. Therefore, the MMAT ratio is greater than 3. See the math image example below. And so that, I guess, is something that we need to clarified. Previous estimation based on the SEC filing, and I'm guessing the wording there might have been a bit confusing, is that you would get 3-to-1, but I guess it's 1-to-1 for the new share. So that means you would get an MMAT share at almost a discount compared to TRCH. At least that's what this post itself is showing us here. So they do as well share a lot more information, so make sure to follow them here. It's at PALIKARAS, and now we can jump towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint, I do just keep in mind that the market has been a little bit sloppy recently. We see 2 or 3 main indicators that are off interest. So the 10 SMA and the 30 EMA. You have a bearish trading action zone on the 1 week perspective. So above the 227, we can remain back bullish. Now the MACD is going negative. That's a bad thing. We're testing the negative sign, and this indicates a negative reversal potential, although it is highly oversold. But here the 50 SMA is climbing up towards the 200 SMA, and you can get a golden cross, which is a very, very bullish star. Now, in terms of a 1-day perspective, we're going on towards a positive reversal potential. And the trading action zone where positive reversals are likely is between the 215 and the 196. If we get into that channel, there's a high chance we can sling off upwards. In terms of the moving average bands, you're seeing 239 at the top, 217 in the middle, and 195 in the bottom, although stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both showing it either an accumulation period in this level or perhaps already a bounce back and a reversal. Now, it's very important to look at supports and resistances. Fibonacci retracements helps us see that. 164 is the current support, followed by 130, followed by 88 cents. Significant resistances are 197, 245, 306, and 483. And it is crucial to still understand where the significant supports and resistances lie. So current support sits at 178, below there 166, below there you're looking at 138, and down to 121. Significant resistances, you're looking at 199, above there a very strong one at 214, above there 252, and then we're looking into 285 and jumping up to 321 and 373. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Well, there's been a lot of speculations. It's definitely at this point a speculative play. The bears are saying this one won't even be worth a penny in terms of dividends. The bulls are saying up to $40, and somewhere in between lies, I guess, $8 average. At least if you're going to be investing into this one or putting your money into this one, at least take in consideration that you might be stuck with an MMAT stock and see how amazing their company is, and if you would actually like to keep that as a stock company beside the dividend. So don't just play the dividend, play the company itself. MMAT Metamaterials has a lot of potential. Take in consideration that if everyone considers to sell after they get the dividend, this stock will plummet down to earth. What do you think about this one? Make sure to down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. Have a wonderful day.